Welcome back to the Pen and Inkwell. So this is the third video now in the series of Noodlers pens that I've been fortunate enough to be loaned to have a look at, to review. And maybe not so much review, to pick apart, because I don't think I'm expert enough, to be honest, to be able to critique, and I don't consider myself a critique of fountain pens at all. This channel is purely for letting you know what I think about them. I don't have hugely expensive pens. I can't afford them, you know, that's it at the end of the day. And every single one of my pens I use. If it's too expensive or I'm too afraid to use it and I don't want to take it to work, then I don't tend to buy them. I want to be able to use them to write in my journal, to take to work, to write in my diary there, to be able to make notes at meetings. And it has to be functional. So these, like I say, so this is very new to me. I've never tried a pen like this before. So this is, as I said, the third Noodles pen I've looked at in this series, and this is the higher price point of the Noodles pens that I've got here. So I've already looked at the Nib Creeper, or what is commonly known as the Nib Creeper. The retails over here in the UK for about £12.50. I've had a look at the Ahab, which is terrific value at £17.50, both of them with flex nibs. But this now, I mean, if nothing else, the colour on this is absolutely brilliant, but I can't say if nothing else. This is the Neponset. It is more expensive than the others. This retails here for £49.95, and they come available in a variety of finishes. I think it's about 14, but I'll double check, and available at Pure Pens in the UK to purchase. But this has a music nib on it. So for those of you, excuse me, unfamiliar with music nibs, as am I, I've heard them relating to platinum pens before. I've got colleagues that have got 3776s with music nibs on. I think that they're beautiful. So this is a steel nib music nib. So essentially it splits three ways. The nib on this, the tine splits three ways, as I'll show you sort of closer up now to give you a bit even more line variety and sort of the ink flow into that. As I said, I am not an expert. Feel free to sort of leave comments below if there's something that you feel I've missed or anything, because I don't ever claim to be an expert in any of this. I'm just giving you my thoughts on this and how I feel it writes, and particularly from a beginner's point of view, because it's the first time I've written with a music nib. Up until about a month, 6 weeks ago, I hadn't written with a flex nib before. I was very much an extra fine nib sort of person, and that was where my comfort zone lay even. So we're going to have a look at this in more detail very shortly, as soon as I turn the camera around and get set up. So join me in just 2 secs. Bye. Welcome back. So as I said, this is the third in the series of the Noodles pens I've been very fortunate to have a look at, and this is the dearest of those as far as financial value is concerned. Again, it still comes in this same box, just about fits in this box, this Noodles cardboard box. I have no issue. Maybe with this pen I would have maybe liked to have seen something else, because we are talking of a different price point with this. So this is the Noodlers Neponset, and this is a music nib. Again, I'm going to put this out, I've already said it, I'm not an expert, but I'm going to try my best, but I'm going to give you a bit of an overview of this. I'm going to take this box out of the way. But the first thing I want to say, I mean, my nails match it, which is great, but the colour on this, the finish on this, look at that. Look at the colour on that, it's like an ocean. It looks like an ocean. And this, I'm assuming, has got something to do with the name for this finish. This is called Marbled Marinas, and I can understand that. It's a beautiful finish. So stats wise, for those of you that like to hear them, this is 153mm long. Very lengthy pen. It is 134mm without the cap, and it's 178mm posted, so quite a long pen if you post that. Weight wise, it's the heaviest of this, is 22 grams in weight with the cap. It is 14 grams without the cap. Quite a wide pen. This is 15mm wide here and narrows down to 13 at the grip section. So I'm going to just show you through it. So cigar shaped pen. Let me get it out so you can see it all. Cigar shaped pen, really. I would say it's probably, the only thing that I don't like about this, and this might sound daft, but it's got this lovely sort of cigar shaped dome this end, and then this end I sort of feel is a little stumpy, shall we say, you know, a bit dumpy, as if it hasn't sort of quite finished off that sort of cigar shape point at the end. I sort of feel it needs to go on that little bit, because when you look at it like that, the cap is almost half the length of the pen. Looking at it that way, and I sort of feel as if it needs something else, and the cap as well is quite a bit thicker, so stands out a good, probably almost a millimetre proud of the rest of the barrel of this pen. Clip, functional, Noodlers ink written down it, functional clip, Noodlers ink around the middle band here. Other than that, the finish I think is fantastic. There are 13 different finishes of this available right now, but not many of each if you're looking to get one over at Pure Pens here in the UK. So twist pen, take that off. Twisted that up a little tightly and I moved the section with it. So what I like about it is that it takes this pattern right the way through to the section, and then really filling system, pump filler, filling system. Again, like the Ahab, there is a tube that feeds through here right the way down into here, so you're able to fill the ink right the way up to this point. Almost gives you sort of two for the price of one, making the best use of it all. Twist that back up. So this is what we're looking at really. So this is the music nib. This is what we're paying the extra money for. There is a difference in the finish and the material compared to the others. It feels more substantial, it feels more expensive, it's weightier, it's nicer to hold, and the colours really do pop from here. But this is, okay, so this is what we're looking at, the music nib. So as you can see sort of closely from there, you can see two lines going up in this V shape towards the tip, which creates what they call this music nib. So three tines really, so when you press pressure on it, it splits out three ways to allow more ink to flow through there. Noodlers ink company written on the nib, the steel nib. And again, the feed pulls out in just the ink flow as you would like it. It's a beautiful looking pen. I'm going to do a writing sample. Again, I haven't perfected the use of the music nib yet, but I will show you what it can do and what ink I've got in this, give you a bit of an idea. So join me in 2 secs while I just get my notepad and we'll do the writing sample. Welcome back to let's do this writing sample. So this is Noodlers Neponset. This finish is Marbled Marinas. And the ink is Pelikan Turquoise. So let's have a look and see. Normal writing, quickly before I go on and show what you do. This is normal writing. The pen's got a bit of a squeak to it. I don't know if you're picking that up on there, but it's got a bit of a squeak to it as you're writing. Normal writing, I'd say it's a fine to medium width. You can see there. So this is what we've got then as far as line variation is concerned. As I've said, I haven't really perfected the music nib yet. There's definite line variation and it's lovely. And see if I can get a little closer so we can see this as I'm writing. See if we can see what the nib does. See, it's spreading out. When you do that and put the pressure on it, the ink there isn't enough ink flow into this. but I think that's the ink that I've chosen to put in here. Because I was doing some normal writing with it initially, the initial ink that I had in it was too wet and was flowing far too freely through it as a normal writing pen. So I put a drier ink in it. I mean, Pelikan for me are among the driest inks that I own, so I put a Pelikan ink in it, which made it fantastic to write with and to journal with. But as far as now being able to make the most of this nib, you know, I'm just catching up a bit now. It didn't allow me to do that. There we go. But with the pressure you can do that. But I think with a faster nib, sorry, not faster nib, with a faster ink, a freer flowing ink, and with having a bit of a play with it, you will perfect that. So I mean, really, let's zoom back out and have a look at that all together. Really what we're looking at here is $49.95 for a music nib pen. So value for money, and the finish on this pen, you probably can't, well, I certainly haven't seen it sort of anywhere else to be able to beat that. If you get into a music nib for the first time, then it allows you to have that opportunity for less money than some of the gold nib pens that that you'd see there. Whether a gold nib would make a difference to the flex on this and would allow those tines to split more, quite possibly. Again, if anybody wants to leave a comment, you're more than welcome to. I don't claim to be an expert in this. I'm just giving you really my sort of beginner's guide to, I suppose, in a way. I'm going to carry on playing with them, and I'm certainly broadening my horizons right now, as well as as I'm learning with you. But I hope this has helped anyway. The finish is beautiful. Absolutely love it. It writes beautifully. It's really nice to play with, give you that variety, and for a price point that I think is extremely reasonable for what you're getting in this pen. I still can't believe that colour and that sheen. Please like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel for some more videos coming up. So this is one of 3 Noodlers, so there are 2 others. There is one on the Ahab and there is one on the Nib Creeper as well. So have a look at them all and let me know what you think, and I will see you all again soon. Have a nice weekend or a nice day or a nice week, whatever time it is that you're watching this. Bye bye.